Today is all about Nigerian football. We'll talk about the ladies. They have decided to set the pace for the men to follow. Women Football League, the Nigerian Women Football League Premiership, Match Day 2 will commence across 7 centers in the country tomorrow. Rivers Angels are in action here in Port Harcourt against Delta Queens. We'll be telling you about that, plus other fixtures. We'll also be telling you about yet another English-born player who is set to join the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Gennard Raw will not stop getting those players in diaspora to come and represent the Super Eagles. Maduka Okoye is not Nigeria's first choice goalkeeper. I'm not the one saying so. Okay? That's Raw saying it, right? Gennard Raw says Maduka Okoye is not Nigeria's first choice goalkeeper. But in the last 4 matches we played, he's been in goal for Nigeria, but Ross says he's not the first choice. And we're asking, how long will it take us to get a first choice goalkeeper? These and many more. Of course, sad news coming in from Akwa Ibom State, where the state FA chairman and the board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, Emmanuel Iba, passed on earlier today. We have that covered on the show this afternoon. The show is interactive, and of course, you can be part of the discussion. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. We'll be talking to Stanley Oguma of Rivers United this afternoon. His team is prepared for 10 Celtic by this time. Share your thoughts with us. 07019339962. 07019339962. That's the number to send your messages via text or WhatsApp to. On Twitter, we are TodayFM951 at TodayFM951. My handle is at Dana Emeka. Copy me or you copy Wisdom, whose handle is at Wisdom_OB. O for orange, B for banana. Chidubem is also here. I'm still struggling to come to terms with this new handle.
Dubem_CJN.
All right, Dubem_CJN. The phone lines will be opened much later for you to have your say. Don't go anywhere. The show will be right back. It's the trip to face Inter Milan with Napoli on Wednesday because of a shoulder injury he sustained in the match between Nigeria and Sierra Leone on November 13 in Benin. Now, there had been reports that the injury was made worse by Super Eagles medical staff, but the report was refuted by the Napoli forward. Napoli's doctor has now confirmed that his Nigerian counterparts prevented a worse injury. Rafael Canonico told Radio Kiss via Football Italia that the 21-year-old does not require surgery on the shoulder, but he continues to train alone in rehabilitation. I'll quote him. He says, my colleagues deserve to be praised. That's what the Napoli doctor Canonico said. He went on to add that they were quick in the clinical approach. Victor Osimhen was lucky. He could have had more serious damages. He suffered an injury with no surgical interest there. Now, though he could not give a definite time when the Nigerian will return to action, now the recovery time always depends on the person. For this kind of injury, he added, it could take from 30 to 70 days to return to action. Superman, one, perhaps good news, the man will soon come back, even though he will be missing the Inter Milan and the Inter Milan encounter. But of course, the other story about Osimhen injury being worsened by the Nigerian medical team also doused here as well.
Yes, if you even get the full thoughts of the man, he was saying that they did well to manage the injury when he sustained it here in Nigeria, that it could have been worse than expected if he wasn't well managed by the doctors who were on ground here, contrary to reports that they mismanaged it here in Nigeria, and that's why he's still not back. So I think for me, kudos to our doctors here. It's not always bad news that comes out of the system here. But on the other side, we do hope he returns to action. We want to see him play. It's just 8 matches that he's been able to actually rake up now when it comes to the numbers, and just 2 goals too. So for that kind of acquisition, I'm sure the people in Napoli are expecting, or Naples are expecting more than just that. So we hope to see him return anytime soon. 30 to 70 days, maybe. I'm sure it should be remaining like 20 or 15 of those days.
All right, else we are assisting with the Super Eagles, and we can report that chairman of FC Midtjylland of Denmark, Rasmus Ankersen, has revealed that the Danish champions are in talks with Frank Onyeka over his future at the club. The FC Ebede product was on the radar of European clubs in the summer transfer window, but a deal did not happen because the Wolves were competing in the Champions League. Despite Midtjylland unable to make it to the group stage or the last 16 of the Champions League, Onyeka and Alexander Scholes were one of the standard players for the Superliga side with the Super Eagles midfielder.
For those of us to come, he can't just force himself on any club, and it shouldn't be a case where he just is leaving Midtjylland for the sake of it. You stay, if a better offer doesn't come, you stay where you are, keep delivering the goods, and with time, that good offer will come. I mean, we've seen it with Victor Osimhen already. Once you do well, definitely the big offers will come.
Superman, stay in Denmark or move to a bigger club for Onyeka. What would be your advice to him?
Well, if they come for him, they said they had some offers in the transfer market. That's when the summer transfer window. But they decided to keep him, did everything to keep him because of the Champions League. They were hoping they would qualify at least for the Europa League, even if they don't make it to the last 16. But that is off the cards now. So we are looking at January. If he gets the offer and it's bigger than Midtjylland, because just as Dubim said, it's not just to move and you're moving to maybe Seku Brugge or something like that. If the offer is good enough, why not? It's a bigger step. He's not 90. He's not a 19-year-old. He needs to move.
All right, let's talk about the ladies right now before we talk about Rivers United. Let's let you know that tomorrow we'll see 7 matches in the Nigeria Women Premier League take place across various centers. Here in Port Harcourt, Rivers Angels, the defending champions of the league, will be in action against Delta Queens. Delta Queens were impressive, and on match day 1, they won 4-1. Yeah. Rivers Angels drew 1-1 away from home against Confluence Queens. Elsewhere, FC Robo Queens will battle Oshun Babes. Robo Queens caused an upset on match day 1, beating Nasarawa Maisons by a goal to nothing in Lafia. And Pelican Stars will be confronting neighbors Ibom Angels, while Royal Queens will be while Dream Stars will take on Edo Queens. Rivers Angels, like I told you, are up against Delta Queens here in Port Harcourt, and Sunshine Queens will confront Confluence Queens in the Battle of the Queens. And Nasarawa Amazons will be up against Bayelsa Queens. Superman, which fixture stands out for you?
Well, looking through, I would just say that it looks balanced a bit. But Nasarawa Amazons against Bayelsa Queens should be one to actually look out for. Because of what these teams have done in the Nigerian women football league, at least in the last 4 to 5 years. So I think that would be one that my eyes will be on. Rivers Angels, that's another game, because the coach was saying, we had our boss that had issues. We got there late. We only had some few minutes before the game. Then they also mentioned officiating. So now you're coming home and it's Delta Queens. We want to see what they can actually do. So I think that's another game. The defending champions, it's just 2 days now. This will make it, the second day. They've not recorded a win yet, only that draw. So we'll be looking at them as the champions. What have you guys
record their first win?
Exactly. There will be no excuse this time. So I think for me, those 2 games would be very important for me.
All right. Let's digress a bit to the NPFL, Chidubim. The ladies have set the pace. The NWFL board, led by Aisha Folade, have started the league like as they promised. But that cannot be said of the NPFL. Even as we speak right now, we don't know when the new season will commence. Someone said earlier today, that was a China Chiru, that even Shehu Diko doesn't know when the league will start.
Is that bad? It just tells you where we are headed or where we are not headed, because it looks like we don't have a direction at this point. But we can only hope at this point. There's nothing more we can do. We had 8 months, or they had, I'm not part of them. They had 8 months to plan, or even more, to plan towards the start of the league. It's not like you've backed sponsors, any special sponsor out of the blue.
They have rest strike.
They have rest strike. That's what I'm saying. It's not anything extra. Like you have 25 sponsors coming into the league that you say guaranteed 8 months wait for the league.
That should even make you starting stuff very fast.
I'm just saying. So what is the excuse exactly that you tell me you had to stay out for all this long and you still can't start the league? There's nothing really to point to. The women have told us that you don't need to have so many things.
They don't have any sponsors.
They have basically
the
nothing.
League.
And their league is up and running. So if the LMC is really serious about what they want to do, they can start this league and start it fine. I don't see the impediment to starting the league these clubs would be ready. If the LMC comes out and say we are going to start the league next 2 weeks, I'm sure the clubs are ready to play football. Most of them have missed this football. They want to get back to play football. So I really can't tell. Maybe in the coming days, I don't know if it has anything to do with the issues of Red Strike and the other guys now. What's their name? The former next digital. I don't know if it has anything to do with that.
No, they have cancelled that one.
Issues.
It was a mutual.
I hope because
termination of the former contract.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope there's nothing behind the scene. But
they say they're expecting Next TV UK. Sorry, not Next TV. Red Strike UK, the parent company, to visit Nigeria. They will take them on tours, hold meetings, do AGM, appoint a new CEO, and all that. But there's no timeline to all these
exactly. All
activities.
this can be done while the league is on. I think so. So I don't know. It's basically up to them at this point. But it's shameful that we have been talking about harmonizing the league with the European calendar and everything. But the more we think about it, the farther it gets from us. We've tried so many. The other time we had to cut the league to just announce champions because of things like this. And then we had an abridged league. Come on, you can't keep going on and on like this. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, and the clubs on the continent are complaining already about the failure of the league to commence. Kano Pillars and Plateau United are already out of the continent. They couldn't cross the first hurdle. Rivers United and Deyimba, the two teams remaining on the continent, and they are complaining about fitness because in their words, they say the league matches that have not started somehow is affecting the fitness of the team and all that. We'll be hearing from Iguma in a jiffy, but you think that's a valid excuse from the clubs?
Yes, I think it's a very valid excuse because you're measuring yourselves against other teams that have been playing. Emeka, I was asking you about Bloemfontein Celtic. You told me, okay, that they are 13th, or 14th on their league table. And I was just listening. This is a team that they're actively playing, whether they are 20th
They played
on the
in the MTN 8th final on Saturday, lost to Orlando Pirates 2-1.
Competitive games. They are testing their players. They know their best lineup to put out against Rivers United. I can't say the same for Rivers United or even Enyimba. So it's actually very challenging to prepare for these big games with friendlies against Saint-Nojo, some of these little teams. I think, yes, for a coach, it's very difficult. Fitness of players is not well tested because you put in some of these star-studded players, just like when we're kids. You get these fine players come around, they dribble everybody, and you call that a preparatory game. You don't test fitness there. You don't test abilities there. You don't test synergy because you can. Is it 14-0 or something? 13-0. They beat one team like that.
Yeah, in Port Harcourt,
So
before they were able to beat Futuro Kings 2-1.
Good, and they got to Futuro Kings and they could not score at least 5 goals. They were still missing, like we heard too, because I wasn't there. So I think yes, it's a problem for any coach. If your players are not fit and you're going to play big games like this, you're just stumbling in. And this other team, they've had competitive matches. Not 1, not 2, not even 5. And you're going to meet them at this point. There will be match rustiness. There will be lack of understanding. Different players came into the team. That would also count for something.
All right. We have on the line the head coach of Rivers United, Stanley Eguma, joining us on the show this afternoon. Coach Stanley Eguma, good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live. Hello, Coach. Can you hear me, Coach? Good afternoon.
Yes, I can hear you. I say good afternoon.
All right. We also have Wisdom Obinna and Chidubem Njoku in the building this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wisdom and Obinna.
I know, Wisdom and Chidubem.
Okay, Wisdom and Chidubem.
All right. Coach, we understand you guys are in Enugu at the moment. You have a crucial match against Bloemfontein Celtic next week in South Africa. What are you doing in Enugu by this time?
Well, Emeka, like you said, it's a crucial match we have next week in South Africa. We have to prepare. Being in Enugu is part of our preparations towards that game coming up next week. We are still preparing because we know that having crossed the first round of the Confederation Cup, we have to work harder, for the next round. Because in this competition, the higher it goes, the hotter it becomes, tougher it becomes. So we don't have to keep waiting. Don't have to take chances.
All right. In Enugu, are you playing friendly matches or you're in a preseason tournament or something?
It's friendly matches, but a form of competition. Yeah, with this select pre-season tournament organized by Select Sportswear. So, where some teams, pro league teams and Premier League teams are involved here.
Okay, is it the competition put together by former Super Eagles player Ifeanyi Ekweme?
Yes, exactly.
All right. So, how is your team shaping up for that match next week against Bloemfontein Celtic?
Yeah, some of the players that have been off, that were not around during the first round, had injury. We tried to try them in this game, those who have not played before, and then see how they can gel with the team that played the first round games. So that's exactly what we are trying to do now, to perfect our tactics, towards that game. And I think that the players are responding well. With these games we are playing here, we played one game yesterday, and then we played another one today, and we have another game tomorrow morning to play before we get back to Port Harcourt.
Notably absent against the Futuro Kings was we are goalkeeper Theophilus Afelogai and midfielder Destiny Ashadi. Will they be available come next week when you face Bloemfontein Celtic?
For now, I think Theophilus Afelogai is showing a good sign, but Destiny Ashadi, we are still looking at him. The doctor have not confirmed him. Okay, but we hope that before the next game, before the team travels, we hope he should be okay. He has started training gradually, but the doctor is yet to confirm him for the game.
Okay, let's talk about your opponents for next week, Bloemfontein Celtic. I'm sure you watched them on Saturday in the MTN 8 final against Orlando Pirates. What do you make of that team?
Yes, I did. They are a good team. They are a good side. Despite the fact they lost that game, they were not bad. They played well, even when they were one man down, when they had a red card. They still played and had more possession than the Orlando Pirates team. They are a team that play compactly. They keep the ball on the ground to play, and they also attack through the wings from the left side. And we know that we will not plan against all that we saw that very day, because there may be one or two players who did not feature that very day, and the technical bench, quite well that we may have watched them. They might try to be tactical by hiding some things. I believe that from what we saw, they are a team that they are also vulnerable, especially in the defense area. We try to work on that, and to ensure that we get goals. Yeah, because we know that scoring away from home is very important in this competition. So I think we're working towards that.
Coach, you will play them 2 times. Once in South Africa next week, and early January you return to Port Harcourt to face them over 2 legs. What are the chances of Rivers United advancing to the playoff round of the CAF Confederation Cup?
A very good chance. It's just that players must be in the right frame of mind, and they have to be focused. The team working around the clock. The management, the sponsor of the team, has been solidly behind the team, and I believe that if all of us put our act together well, and then we make sure that we arrive on time when there will be enough rest for the team, I think that we will do well. Other logistics, if all the other logistics issues are taken care of, we won't have any problem. The players will give their best because they too watch the game and they are eager to go. They know the importance of the game, this competition, the importance of the victory in this game, because as it stands now, Nigerian teams have suffered a lot, in this competition. So we have to give our best, and nothing short of our best is what is expected by Nigerians now. So we are ready, and nothing is stopping us again.
All right, Coach, we noticed that in the last game against Futuro Kings, you missed so many scoring chances. Is this something you'll be working to avoid in the next match?
In fact, that has been our undoing. That has been our pain. The chances have been created. We create a lot of chances, especially early in the game. All the matches we play. But, converting them has been the problem. I think that the players need to be in the right frame of mind, and also they have show a little bit of patience in front of goal, and they be technical for us to achieve our aim. Because wasted chances will not help us at all. So they don't have to be wasteful up front. So I believe that if they put that on their head as they go into the game and correct those mistakes, I think we will be able to achieve something. From South Africa. We are looking at the game to finish the match there in South Africa, before coming back home.
Make the second leg a formality.
Yes, we're not going there to go and defend to defend. We're going there to see how we can attack and get our goals, ensure that the return leg, will not be under pressure again.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. And when is the team leaving Nigeria for South Africa?
Hopefully on the 19th of this month.
Okay, that's in 4 days, on Saturday precisely. Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Coach Stanley Guma. We wish you all the best as you prepare for the clash against Bloemfontein Celtic of South Africa.
Thank you very much.
All right, the Rivers United coach right there, Stanley Guma. Guys, what did you make of Guma's comments?
Well, I'm particularly delighted about the fact that he's watched this side and he knows just above the normal details that anybody out there would know. And it's a good sign that at least he has an idea what he's going to face and is making plans towards tackling those loopholes he has pointed. And it gives us hope that when they come against this side, they should be able to get the job done. Ordinarily, you shouldn't be scared of Bloemfontein Celtic if you judge them by the fact that they finished 8th in the league last season in South Africa, while Rivers United, well, by some magic or whatever yardstick was used, finished 3rd in the league last season. Arguably, they were 2nd. You could also argue that too. It's normally shouldn't be a problem for Rivers United if you judge both sides by that, but we know the difference in both leagues right now, and you're going to just be maybe shooting yourself on the foot if you think the Bloemfontein Celtic side should be judged by their position on the league right there in South Africa. But good thing. Stanley Guma knows his work now. He knows what he has to do. His work is cut out for him, and hopefully they'll be able to get it done.
Superman, quickly, Eguma is confident his team will advance over 2 legs. Are you as confident as Eguma?
No. To be practical, the Nigerian League and South African League currently is like the Dutch League, Netherlands, and maybe what happens in England. Wolverhampton.
Which one will be England in this case?
Well, Nigeria would be Netherlands because we do well with our national team, but our leagues are not exactly where the others are. Bloemfontein Celtic would be like Wolverhampton Wanderers against Feyenoord. You don't expect, we are confident Feyenoord will get it over 2 legs. Yeah. So I think I'm not that confident, but I believe that hope is something we should hold. Bloemfontein Celtic, as I said, they've been playing regularly and they play in the South African League. These days they have talents from abroad, mixed with their local talent. They have a fine coaching system and all that. So we would see. But I'm happy that he's saying they want to do it there in South Africa. Go with that mindset. If it comes out that you win, fine. A draw, fine. You come home and
you also have a coach with Nigerian descent, Nigerian descent now, John Maduka.
No, it's Maduka. It's from Namibia.
Really? Okay, is it Namibia or Malawi?
Malawi, not there.
Yeah. I was thinking
and it's Maduka.
Nigeria.
Yeah, I had them pronounce the name the other day. When I saw the name, I was like, is this man from Nigeria? Until when I was doing the preview of Super
Malawi nationality, I was like, okay, why? Okay.
All right, let's go to the Super Eagles proper and tell you about this report coming in that has to do with the coach of the side, Gernot Rohr. Of course, Nigeria did not really perform well against Sierra Leone in those 2 AFCON 2021 qualifying matches, and the coach has decided to add Fulham defender Tosin Aderabioyo to the list of growing diaspora players in the team. The Franco-German tactician has been under intense criticism for overlooking the homegrown players in preference of Nigerian players born abroad. According to www.owngoalnigeria.com, Rohr is determined to strengthen Eagles' defense with the Fulham defender. Aderabioyo has represented England at several youth levels, but not in any competitive game or tournament, making his case of wanting to switch allegiance to Nigeria a lot easier than it's supposed to be. Now, quoting a source who spoke to Own Goal, he says, I know Rohr likes him a lot and was delighted when he accepted the chance to play for Nigeria, but he still needs some form of clearance from FIFA to make it happen. He loves the Super Eagles as well. If all goes as planned, he will play for Super Eagles in March. He's one of the 4 players who will be added to the team to help them in cementing a spot at the AFCON and also start the qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup. Superman, good or okay addition to the Eagles side?
Well,
Tosin Aderabioyo.
It's just there. I don't know, but Aderabioyo is very experienced a little bit for his age. He's was a Man City player, but has gone around different clubs on loan before cementing that move to Fulham. Is he better than what we have now? That's the big question I can't actually answer. Akpoguma is better than Aderabiu. Leon Balogun is better than Aderabiu.
So you've answered already.
Kenneth Omeru is better.
Not better.
So I don't know why he's actually going to come into the team. But wait, maybe he has something else that I'm not seeing that the coach might be seeing.
I don't know what to make of this trend of bringing in Nigerian players born abroad to come and play for the Super Eagles. They are dominating the team these days. Is this something you're okay with?
No, I'm not. And it doesn't make sense, especially for Tosin Adarabioyo. He's not a fantastic talent out there. I've always maintained that if you must get players who didn't start here, so to speak, you must poach them, then it has to be somebody exceptional. You don't just go around picking anybody for the fun of it. You're talking of a right back player here. We have so many right backs in this team. In fact, the other game we played against Sierra Leone, the double header, there was confusion about who to start in that right back. Kevin Akpoguma was started at some point. You had Tyrone Egbohi. You have the other man, Chidozie Awazim. So you're spoiled for options. These are players who can confidently get the job done. So why bring in someone else to come and confuse yourself the more? So it doesn't make any sense. I don't see why you're bringing in Tosin Adarabioyo here. He's not an exceptional player. I've watched him once and again, and he's not somebody that I will look at and will wow me and say, oh, you must bring this boy to our team. Oh, no, he's not. So I wonder why Gennett Rowe will be chasing after these players when, in fact, you have a chance to get the younger boys here from our league and give them that opportunity instead of chasing players who are not better than what we have.
Contrastingly, the coach is going around watching domestic teams in action. Yet
And for the fun
no
of it,
player, penciled for invitation to the Super Eagles. It was in Jos when Plateau United were beaten by, Simba, and of course it was in Port Harcourt when Rivers United played Futuro Kings. Over a week ago. Well, let's move on. Still talking Gennett Rowe. He has revealed that Maduka Okoye is not yet the first choice of the Super Eagles, as he still has a lot of work to do. The young shot-stopper has been in superb form for his Dutch side, Sparta Rotterdam, keeping 4 clean sheets so far this season. Okoye kept goal for Nigeria in their 4 games this year, keeping out the likes of Daniel Akpeyi and Ikechukwu Ezenu. However, Ross says the 21-year-old goalie has not made the position his own. All the goalkeepers in the team have been first choice for some time, and now it's Okoye's turn. That's what he told Old Goal Nigeria. He went on to say he has to work really hard to hang on to the position because the others are eager to be there. So it is not yet his own. He has done well with his club, and that's what you need to be in our team. Gennett Rowe speaking right there. Superman, what do you make of the goalkeeping issues in the Super Eagles? Today is Akpeyi. Of course, let's even go back to 2018 AFCON, World Cup, I should say. It was Francis Tozoho, first choice keeper at the World Cup. Yeah. 2019 AFCON, it was Daniel Akpeyi. Now, qualifiers now for the 2021 AFCON is now Okoye.
Well, I'm not really happy with what is going on in the Super Eagles. Sometimes goalkeepers and players require confidence. And if the player is not even given 2 games to stay, you're not even sure of where you are, your confidence cannot even grow. I think the race is between Okoye and Akpeyi. Akpeyi is doing well in South Africa. Okoye is doing well now for Sparta Rotterdam. At least it's the first choice right there. I think he needs to pick one person. Allow the person gain confidence on the job. I'm tired of saying come to the MPFL since you don't want to come. Stay with Okoye and Akpeyi. But
for now it's Okoye now. 4 matches, Okoye was
if he's saying Okoye is not his number 1, then I
say he hasn't made the position permanent yet.
At least anyway, maybe just give him time. If you're going to actually allow him to be there to prove his mettle, then maybe it's the way to go. If he also fails to prove that, you bring back Akpeyi. I think outside Akpeyi and Okoye, I don't think there's anybody in the diaspora that would actually be okay now to be a goalkeeper.
Okay, Kilawal. Before we start taking the calls, earlier today, news broke of the death of NFF board member and chairman of Akwa Ibom State Football Association, Emmanuel Eba. They said he had no issues with coronavirus and what have you. Died at the age of 61. Quite sad. Coming through earlier today.
Yeah, really sad one. And football has lost a lot. Sports generally has lost a lot, both in Nigeria and globally this year. And it's a very sad thing to think about. The deadly coronavirus. We keep talking about it.
board member to die this year.
Exactly.
Chidi Ofokenwa passed on this year.
Yeah.
Musa Duhu passed on this year. And Emmanuel Ibana, all of them former board members of the Nigeria Football Federation.
Very sad. That's how we keep encouraging people to, as much as you go about your normal businesses, please stay caution and do the right things to keep yourself away from the deadly coronavirus and stay safe. You don't want anybody dying anymore.
All right, we'll have our first call on the show this afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Post Live. Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
My name is Eli from Port Harcourt.
Eli from Port Harcourt. Have your say.
For the network, the invitation of new players, I don't know the meaning. I think the only player Nigeria needs now, or to convince or to find a way to bring him in the Super Eagles, is everybody shares that. That's the only player I'm seeing now that we need. Not inviting anybody from anywhere, even kicking from home base. For me, I think if Nigerian NFL does not want him, they will pay him. That's why he doesn't look.
All right, so apart from a very chase, the Ross should stop inviting no players from abroad. That's new players.
Nobody for now. Let's deal with what you have.
All right, Eli, thank you so much for your thoughts. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Today's Post Live.
Good afternoon, please.
Please, what's your name?
The Nigeria, if I do not call.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Today's Post Live. Your name and the location?
Good afternoon. My name is No Photocopy.
No Photocopy. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. I think concerning Raw, looking for more players and what have you. It's a welcome development.
You should keep bringing more new players to the team.
Yes, it's a welcome development until he gets what he's looking for. But concerning Nigerian League, I've said it today. You spoke about the issue that the league will not start. It's like when we say it's like maybe we don't like the league or something. I said the year says to show that at least you people have what to celebrate on. The league will not start this year. That is the facts on ground. Because it's the politician that is in charge of the football, not those that have compassion for the game or sport person. So everything is towards 223.
No Photocopy. Thank you so much for your thoughts. He doesn't believe the league will start this year. Hello. Good afternoon to you, Simon from Romo Dumaya.
Man of Sports, happy birthday.
I greet you. Thank you.
Bring gift, come.
No problem, nah.
No problem from out there.
I can do.
Simon, have your say.
I want to say something concerning General and the Manukoko, whether Manukoko is the first choice or not. If we want to counter about first choice, you should not even mention Daniel Ake. It's between Manukoko and the Uzo. Uzo, as he has recovered from injury, if he continues showing the performance that I saw him show before he went to that injury, I think we'll consider two of them. Madi Koko, and many people are neglecting this, but somebody can move from his group and start another team in a Dutch league.
All right, so the long and short of it is that the first choice position in the Super Eagles belongs to either Maduka Okoye or Francis Uzo, all right, according to you?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Simon. Let's leave it there and go to the text message portal. Superman, we have messages coming through there. Okay, let's while we wait for those messages to drop, let's return to the phone lines. Hello.
Yes, Emeka, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Post Live.
Yes, Anthony coming from Omok direct.
Anthony from Omok. How's Omok this afternoon?
We are cool.
All right, let's hear you.
Please, somebody should tell them as well that it's not the stability of that team by bringing in more players.
He's still rebuilding. He's still building the team.
No, how many years are we rebuilding now? How many years now? It's not, the team is not taking shape because today you will play this player, tomorrow you will bring another player. The team is not having any shape. You don't even know who's going to play which league at any given match. It's not helping matters at all. You should stick to the players you have. Like what somebody said, the very KJ should not be the player you should bring into the midfield.
Okay, now of course, according to you, the Rush should stop inviting new players to the team, right?
Yes, you don't need more players again. It's destabilizing the team.
Okay, but the boss stops on his table. If he thinks that's the best for us, why not? Let's go to another caller. Thank you so much for your call. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Post Live. Your name and the location? Zito. Oh, my brother. How you doing?
Fine, my brother.
All right, let's hear you, Zito.
Okay, I want to find out when they're playing the next Champions League match.
It's next week. I think Tuesday or Wednesday. Away at home, away from home at El Merreikh. They are playing El Merreikh of Sudan away, first leg. Before they return to Aba for the second leg in early January. Okay, Superman. It doesn't look like the fans are happy with the regular invitation of new faces to the Super Eagles, especially at this time. 4 years in charge of the club, yet he doesn't still have a first team. So to say.
It's becoming one too many, and I think Chidwin mentioned that you should go for exceptional players. I think, okay, let's say, okay, you have been picking, and we've gotten to a level where it should be standout players. Don't bring in Akpo Guma now. I mean, I like him. You play him as a right back. You know, because there's no space.
But he's a central defender in his club.
You see, and you have promised him that you give him some game time.
Exactly.
And that's why you're pushing him. I think that it doesn't make sense. Ebere Cheze for now is a standout talent currently. You go for him, push for him, you know, try. If he doesn't come, no problem, but make some efforts to actually get him. But don't just go for anything that is of Nigerian roots until they decide, I want to play for Nigeria.
And you have to
wait
also
for an
assess them,
exceptional
know
day.
whether they are good enough to play for Nigeria.
Maybe 2
the
weeks
senior
or 3
national
weeks.
team is not for
It's
all
not
comers.
for everybody,
Yes,
you know. It's not for Lawal in Lask or one other player somewhere.
Let's go back to the phone lines. We have another caller. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon to you all.
Yes, Stella West.
Yes, compliments of the season.
The same to you, bro. Today is Wisdom's birthday. He will appreciate any gift from you if you don't mind. Yeah.
Wisdom, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Stella
Great
West.
man indeed.
Should we send his account number?
Later we'll discuss.
It's
that
okay, it's okay. We can discuss that one off camera. All right, Stella West, talk to us.
I wish you joy, you know, to smile.
By the way, Lawson promised to show Chidubem love for his wonderful predictions.
Ever since.
Boy, I sent him your number.
He hasn't called ever.
It's okay. Stella West, take it away.
Okay, I listened to our coach. He's talking about the players not being wasteful on the 18. He did not tell us how he has gone far to correct it. He has not. He said if the players can correct, players cannot correct by themselves. You are the coach. You are the one that is going to correct.
But at this stage, do you think it is the Guma's job to teach strikers how to score goals?
Of course.
No. At this level, it's beyond the coach now.
Brother,
you don't tell the players how to score goals again. You can map out tactics that will create chances for them, but it's the striker's job to do the finishing.
If they score, it's to his credit. So if they are not scoring, he should correct it. Otherwise, any time way will be correct and make it correct.
Okay.
I don't want a loss of concentration. if he loses that game, he should remember.
No. Even if he loses, he can come back here and win.
No. He should get draw there.
Okay.
Or even win.
We'll wait and see.
Come back here. To play at home now is a very tension match.
All right.
So that we can play with ease.
All right. Last caller on the show this afternoon. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live. Your name and the location?
My name is Joshua, calling from Omo.
Joshua from Omo. Let's hear you.
I want to talk about the situation of new players in the Super Eagles. I think it's time for Granado to stop inviting somebody and make use of the one he has.
All right, your message is very clear. Ross should stop inviting new players and make use of the players he has in the team. That's the start of the package, a brief version of the show today. Many thanks to Wisdom Obina who put this show together, and of course the Chidubem Njoko. But the big thanks goes out there to you for being a part of the show. We're back tomorrow same time. Before the Sports Attack will come your way tomorrow morning by 7:30 a.m. And until then, have yourselves a wonderful evening and keep it locked on this dial today. 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Morakosi.
It's my choice. You can dream if you believe. Give it all you've got.
It's never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
A very very good afternoon to you. You're still tuned to Today 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Emeka Dana, and of course, I've got a gentleman in the building. He has some good news for you all out there. I will allow him to introduce himself. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ono Cedric.
All right, Ono Cedric, you are from Next Gen Synergia Limited.
Yes, of course.
All right. What is Next Gen Synergia?
Okay. Good afternoon, Port Harcourt people and Nigerians listening. Next Gen Synergia is a company that is registered and set up to enable individuals to meet their needs conveniently. So that's what Next Gen Synergia do, enabling people to meet their basic needs, the regular needs in a convenient way.
All right. Talking about those regular needs, can you throw more light on them? Does it include rent?
Yes,
school
of course,
fees,
of course.
stuff like that?
You know, it can even include your hospital bill for your pregnant wife. I mean, anything that could be a need to you is included.
All right. So how do you go about this? What services do you render particularly?
Okay. Let me go through how you go about it. Individuals has to determine as an individual, an adult, whether you're married or you're single. You had a list. Even as the year is going to an end, I want to say that what we're talking about here is not about coming to us to get a loan or to get a subvention or to solve any need tomorrow or next week. We're talking about planning for tomorrow. So you're already looking at 2021. 2020 has come and it's already going. And you know that there are things you need to meet up. Your rent will be due in April, in May, in June, or even towards the end of the year. You come to us, plan your rent so that you don't have to defray the entire amount meant for that rent. You can use up the money that is usually spent on the rent to do other things while you use a little part of it to pay your rent. So we have services like Next Rent, which take care of corporate rent, your church, your office, your living in a space, whatever type of rent you have, you're still paying in this city. We can take care of that through our Next Rent package. Then we have Next Fee. Is talking about personal fee or the fee of your ward or your children, looking forward, whether they're studying at home or abroad. Next fee will take care of that. We also have package for those who want to go on relaxation. We call it Next Flex. Next Flex is essentially taking care of social relaxation, holidays, or engagement, weddings, and things that come within the confines of activities that we call partying, celebration, whatever it is. You can plan for them. Then we have Next Start. Next Start is about encouraging people who need to start something for a living, a little startup. Now we encourage micro and small scale businesses, or you want to buy a machinery, you want to get a vehicle, you want to buy a landed property, essentially for a supporting living tomorrow. These are breakdowns of things that we do, and we've tagged them in that 4 categories.
All right, I understand that in your different packages that you have,
yes,
that's one, all you need to do is just to pay a certain amount
exactly
ahead of time.
Exactly.
And Next Gen will take care of the rest.
Exactly.
Wow, that's very exciting. Now, how is your services different from what others offer in the public?
Very key. Today I spent time to look at our ecosystem, business ecosystem. We have a lot of these programs are coming on. Some are investments, some are this and that. But see, Next Gen Synergia is interested in lifting the burden of your need for tomorrow. Let me break it down. You could make investment anywhere, and there are so many of them that are genuine out there. But you see, when those money you invest and you're receiving your money weekly or monthly, there is this possibility that you could still go ahead spending the money, and you could be collecting this return on investment, and your rent is still due and you are not able to pay it. We are essentially different because we help you to plan for your needs, and you can be sure that those needs are taken care of. If you've defrayed 25% of your rent to subscribe with us, you can go to sleep and you'll be sure that your rent is taken care of. On that particular due date of your rent, you have the money to pay your rent. That's why we're different. It's not just we're not just interested. We are particularly concerned with the needs that is bothering you, and that is what essentially sets us apart.
Now, to be honest, I'm interested in one of those services.
Yes, of
I'm
course,
really interested.
of course. We all have needs.
All right. I'm sure you cannot divulge everything here because of the limited time.
Yes, of course.
So if someone wants to get across to you, where is your office here in Port Harcourt?
All right.
And what's the contact, the phone number that they can reach you with?
Okay, we are strategically located at D line, just number 3, Agudama. Wherever you're coming from Transamale, from town, from Obibo even, and you're coming from whatever side you are coming from. Number 3, Agudama is very accessible. Every vehicle that's going through D line passes through that point. Number 3, Agudama Street, D line, Port Harcourt. And you could just call our number on 070-3354. 3174. That is 070-3354-3174.
All right. You will still take that number before we wrap up, but just in case you're just joining us now, the service is amazing. The services are amazing from Next Gen Synergia Limited. For those of you who have children in school, you want to pay your rent, you're planning a burial, you're planning a wedding, and what have you. Next Gen Synergia is the place to be. All you need to do is just to subscribe with them for maybe 25% or 50%, depending on the duration.
Exactly.
And they will take care of the rest.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nothing more exciting than this, if you ask me. All right, we'll be opening the phone lines in a jiffy for you to call in and ask any question. If in case there's anything Cedric has said here that is not very clear to you, for further information, you can call and ask any question you feel like. 0817 0000951 0810 9510951. Those are the numbers to call, and of course you ask Cedric Ono here from Next Gen Synergia any question regarding what he has explained as far as the services are concerned. I'm sure a lot of you out there are keen and interested in what he has said so far. So it's time to get further information. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mecca. Good afternoon.
All right, welcome.
My name is Isaac. I'm calling from my phone.
Okay, Isaac from my phone. So what's your question to Cedric Ono?
My question is very simple. If someone to borrow like 2 million, how much will it pay, and how long of this duration will it last?
I wasn't getting you clear, but this says someone wants to borrow
2 million naira.
Okay.
Just for instance.
How much are you going to subscribe with?
Okay.
And how long will it take?
Okay, it's a little mix-up.
Number one, not borrowing, they don't borrow money. They don't lend money to people.
But if you're asking,
just keep listening out there.
Okay, if you are asking if your need is have a need of 2 million, it's also going to depend on when you want this need to be met. So you can contact our office or call the number we have here for more clarification.
All right. The number once again is
070 3354 3174.
All right. The last call, I hope you got the information clearly. They don't lend money to people.
Yeah.
What they do is bring a need. That's what XYZ amount.
Exactly.
Then pay a subscription fee prior to the time that you have the need. You need the money. Then by that, when it is due, they will complete it for you. That's what it means.
Exactly. And again, I want to say that one of the things we've been encouraging in our companies in Nigeria is certainly a place where there is a lot of things happening, from a social angle, from every angle. And we want people to know that plan is everything. One of the things we are trying to build into the consciousness of Nigerians is that certain things don't come as emergency, and don't let them embarrass you. We know a lot of bad things are happening around you, but that doesn't stop you as a husband of the house, as a man of the house from planning. You couldn't just give excuse that this and this is happening. So take advantage of what we are doing. Look at 6 months away from now. Look at 12 months away. And don't let those things come and meet you unprepared. just plan for it. That's just the song we are singing in Next Gen Synergy. And then we will bear the burden with you. We will make it very easy for you. And I keep talking to those who feel they are comfortable. You know, there are people who hang around you. So there are a lot of cousins, a lot of brothers, and people who are asking you to help them with their rent, who are asking you to help them to start something. And all these people are coming around you and you are giving them complaints. Why not come to us? We will join hand with you, plan for these people. Just a little subscription you will make, exactly, a little bit of whatever you want to do for them. And you have this problem solved. So please take advantage of the services we're offering. Our place has been, thank God for this radio program. We've been having a lot of visitors who come, maybe for clarification, and others have been having good experience. And we are not among those who will want to hoodwink you by using one testimony or the other. But I can tell you that since we started, people have been having good experience, and that is the ideology driving what we are doing. That's the passion driving what we are doing.
How long has Next Gen Synergy been in Port Harcourt or Nigeria?
Next Gen Synergy actually is a sister company of Next Gen Media Infotech, because you see, we are not just collecting people's money. We have products, we have services. Like we have said that we have key areas of portfolio we're handling. So Next Gen Media.
What will be asking?
Yes.
Where do you get the money to?
Exactly.
Take care of
it's
those
a simple thing, like you said.
Yeah.
If time was there, like I gave analysis. There is no rocket science. Even people who buy pure water and a bag, they finish selling it and they make 100% of that money in a short while. So if you know what to do, we call it law of comparative advantage. If you know what to do, all of us cannot be given that same ability, because Next Gen Media and Infotech has established itself in areas of expertise. We are able to use this and return the value that we have promised customers. So Next Gen Media and Infotech has been in Port Harcourt for the past 8 years. We've been doing business with various organizations, and Next Gen Synergy was introduced later last year, and it has been doing amazingly well.
And people have been benefiting already.
Oh my God, you can find out.
I have to
yourself.
be part of this one. Okay, the numbers to call very quickly: 0817 000951, 0817 000951, or 0810 9510 951 to ask any question that's bothering you regarding Cedric Ono's explanation of Next Gen Synergy and their services here in Port Harcourt. But before we return to the phone lines, quickly, where's your address here in Port Harcourt, and how can they reach you directly via the phone?
Okay, we are at number 3 Agudama, number 3 Agudama Street.
In D-Line?
D-Line, just behind the First Bank branch, D-Line there. And you can call us on 07033543174.
You're too fast. Just
yes, 07033543174. Okay.
That's 70.
Yes, no, 3174 is correct. Actually correct on my head. So you can call those number now and see what a few process. We have package for 3 months. If your needs come within 3 months, we have for 6 months. We have for 1 year. And you see, you can go to our website, Nesyn. That's NESYNE.com, Nesyn.com. You get a whole lot of information there. And when you do, you apply or you register, we go through the process of verification. You have your valid ID. Once you are cleared as per identification, you can go ahead and choose and make decision for any need you want. The platform is self-driven. You don't need to be in Port Harcourt to subscribe. Can be in Lagos, can be abroad, even you can be anywhere.
Do it online. Yeah.
Online is meant to be done from anywhere. So please, we urge you once again. Don't be taken unaware by things that warn you ahead of time.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cedric Ono. We are out of time already for coming around.
Thank you very much.
All right. The news comes up next by 4 p.m. and Wealth is already in the building.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. The family of skiing Kinikanwo Amadi, who was allegedly stabbed to death in his apartment, has faulted the claim by the International Federation of Female Lawyers, FIDA, that they were responsible for the incident that led to the death of their son. FIDA in Rivers State had, through its publicity secretary Stephanie Ekpegbulu, in a statement, accused the family of the deceased of allegedly forcing the woman back to marriage after complaints of series of domestic violence against her, and even threatened to fine her if she ever returned to FIDA on the same matter. Clinton Nzeru Amadu, who read out the position of the family in reaction to the allegation by FIDA, said the family never forced the woman back to the marriage. Rather, it was the advice of the same FIDA for the husband and wife to return home and resort to the traditional means of conflict resolution. Nzera Ahmad said it was when such directive was given that the families came together to traditionally resolve the difference between the couple. Nzera Ahmadi disclosed that the children of the deceased, who are eyewitnesses to the incident that led to the death of the man, had been invited by the police, adding that the family is seeking for justice.
How the family came to intervene on the matter was when our brother came back and said, look at what I want to feed out. My wife took me to feed her. Look at what feed her said. Feed her said I should come back home and inform my relative for them to look at the matter. And so it was upon that my family have to intervene based on the information given to us by our late brother. The intervention that we made as a family was to ask the wife to invite her own relatives, which they did. They came with about 3 persons, even including the chief. And we met. We discussed, both of them explained their differences. At the end of the day, we now resolved that for peace to reign, that the both family, husband and wife should come together. And what we went again and did all the necessary rites as tradition demands. As a woman who ran back to that place, we did all the necessary things, paid the goat and thereabout, and they resolved, and we did all the rituals involved before both of them came back again as living as husband and wife. So the wife is in a better position to explain to us what happened to our brother, because neither I or rest of my family members were not there. So it was the wife and the children who were present. So they are in a better position to explain to us what happened to our brother.
Last week, a domestic fight between a couple at Nkolu in Obiakwa local government area of Rivers State led to the death of a husband, Skin Amadi. In another development, Senate President Ahmed Lawan has sworn in 4 senators recently elected through by-elections in states across the country. The new senators include Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, Senator Henry Sereke Dixon, Senator Cleopas Moses, and Senator Nora Ladi Daud. Meanwhile, at the lower chamber, 2 members of the House of Representatives joined the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. The lawmakers made their decision known in separate letter read by the Speaker on Tuesday during plenary. The lawmakers Dati Yaku from Kano State and Danjuma Shitu from Taraba State both based their reasons for dumping their political parties on leadership crisis. While Yaku left the People's Democratic Party, Shitu left the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly Speaker Abdulaziz Garba Gafasa and the Majority Leader Kabiru Dashi has resigned. The Speaker announced his resignation in a letter addressed to the Clerk and Permanent Secretary. Garba Gafasa, in his resignation letter, said his decision was based on personal reasons, adding that he appreciated the support of all the members. The Majority Leader, in a 1-paragraph letter addressed to the Clerk, did not state the reason for his resignation. Nigeria's inflation has increased for the 15th consecutive month for 14.89% in November 2020 from the 14.12% in October. The report, which was released by the National Bureau of Statistics, also shows a spike in food inflation, which jumped to 18% in November from 17% the previous month, while core inflation declined to 11%. The NBS attributes the rise in food index to increases in prices of major food commodities, including potato, yam, and other tuber, as well as fruits and vegetables. On the foreign scene, Joe Biden has been confirmed as the next U.S. president as the Electoral College formalized his victory over Donald Trump. all but closing the door on the incumbent's efforts to overturn the result of the 2020 election. As Biden appealed to Americans to turn the page on the decisive contest, electors met across all U.S. states to seal his win, with California pushing Biden over the majority of 270 votes and clearing the way for him to take office on January 20. But with his ability to steal the spotlight still intact, Trump announced moments later that Attorney General Bill Barr, who contradicted the outgoing president's claim that the November 3 election was marred by fraud, would leave his post next week. The 200-plus-year-old Electoral College procedure is merely a formality in confirming the will of the people expressed at the polls, but the process carried added significance given the turbulence of last month's election and Trump's refusal to acknowledge his defeat. Russian President Vladimir Putin has congratulated Joe Biden on his win in the U.S. presidential election in November, saying he hoped the countries could set aside their differences to promote global security. Putin wished the U.S. president-elect every success and said that he is ready for collaboration and contacts with Biden. In his congratulatory telegram to Biden, Putin said that both Russia and U.S. bear special responsibility for global security and stability. He said he was confident that Russia and the United States could, despite their differences, really contribute to solving many problems and challenges that the world is currently facing. The Russian president was one of the last remaining leaders of major world countries to have held back on congratulating Biden, who was confirmed as the next U.S. president by the Electoral College. In sports, Italian cyclist Riccardo Rico, who was thrown off the Tour de France in 2008 for taking a blood-boosting drug, has been banned for life. This is contained in an announcement by the National Anti-Doping Agency. The 37-year-old had already been handed a 12-year ban that was due to expire in 2024. A once promising rider known as the Cobra, Rico's career collapsed when he was found to have been taking the banned blood booster Sira during the 2008 tour. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap and running water, avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. Do stay tuned as the platform comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Welcome to the season of love. Welcome to the season of love. Welcome to the season of love. Christmas is here again. Welcome to the season of love. Good tidings, good tidings, good tidings we'll bring to you.
This is All Plus One. Season's greetings to you from Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yeah! The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Buhari to start looking at international support for family staff resign, this resign. Let us further see how we can talk with our president as elected people. There are only few elected people in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Just as the president was elected, is the one also were elected. So we have to meet as elected people, represent the people, to discuss this matter. The National Assembly, by the control of the Constitution, we have the power to change the law. Let us immediately look at our law now. As a matter of urgency, and make necessary amendment that empower us as elected people to have a say in our security. As far as security is concerned, stop calling on the table of Mr. President, and nobody can challenge that. The worst part of this situation is that nobody is talking to us. We're just there as if we're talking rubbish.
There you heard some senators debating on the disturbing rate of insecurity in Nigeria today. The time is 13 minutes after 4, and I welcome you to another edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk station, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam, and I shall give you insight into some of the news reports making the rounds. The platform on radio is a program where we come together, hopefully, to slice up trending issues. We do that alongside our correspondent reports. Our correspondents are out there sourcing reports from the field, and on this program, we take their reports as they see it, as they view it, and they give us more details. Perhaps you get to hear what is not entirely in the news. So, on to the menu. Nigerian Army says the over 300 schoolboys kidnapped in Katsina State were taken away on motorcycles. And you also have, on the other side of the dish today, Nigerian Senate summoned service chiefs over rising insecurity in the country. And we'll be looking at more controversies trailing the death of Skin Amadi as family takes on FIDA. And the defense headquarters have said preliminary investigations reveals that the over 300 schoolboys kidnapped by bandits in Kankara, Katsina State, were moved in motorcycles. Now, spokesman of the defense headquarters, Major General John Eneche, said this while answering questions on the kidnap issue that has now attracted global attention. Eneche said the bandits stormed the school with hundreds of motorcycles. That's how he said it. Hundreds of motorcycles. Now, listen to him.
The onset from the school, they were moved on the motorcycles that they brought, and after a short distance, some of them continued with the motorcycles, others dismounted. And as they dismounted, in short, from one of the, I would say one of the boys that, one of them that escaped, among those recovered, that they had to trek long distances. And they trekked until, according to him, he fainted. So they moved on motorcycle, dismounted from the motorcycles, and then trekked. Of course, that is their usual characteristics. Those abductors, those people that usually abduct people, that is their usual characteristics. So it's the same system, the same approach they use.
Spokesman of the defense headquarters, Major General John Eneche, added that the contact established between the kidnappers and the Katsina State government will not stop the army from going after armed groups in the northwestern Nigeria. In northwestern Nigeria, beg your pardon.
That contact has or was established after we left Zamfara. After we left Katsina yesterday. Of course, once contact is made, there are lots of things that go into it. From what I understand, by the way it was handled before, previously there had been issue of negotiating with the bandits in some states like Zamfara, Katsina, and they will pay something and then they will say they will not attack again. That does not stop what we are doing to, conduct a decisive action so that the children will come out unharmed.
Now, this is coming at a time the extremist group Boko Haram has claimed responsibility for the abduction of hundreds of school students in northwest Nigeria. Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari has, in the meantime, disclosed that 17 students of government secondary school Kankara have been found and reunited with their parents. But our question here now is, how did they move over 300 pupils on bike and also walk the long distance unhindered? I can imagine 50 bikes, 70 bikes, and the noise it makes. And I see them sometimes in the convoy, videos of them in the convoy. And I'm imagining for the distance you have to go, you do that unhindered. First of all, how were you able to move in that manner to the school? Because you rode those bikes to the school. I can imagine, because NH at some point had said, by the time the team that was patrolling that area, he says because of the operation that they have going in Katsina, they have different teams that are patrolling different areas. Now, an army team that was patrolling that area was notified about what was going on, but they could not engage the kidnappers because they were using the children as human shields, because they knew that by the time they were done, if there was exchange of fire, you're going to find more pupils dead than you wanted to even admit to. So I can understand the need not to engage them in that manner. But I mean, did you trail them when they were going on these bikes? Did you trail them to the point of where they had these kids? At what point did they get missing and you didn't know where they went to? And how did they even get to the school in the first place without this team knowing? If there's a patrol team within that region or area, how didn't they know that 300, I don't know how many motorbikes though, but I mean, it has to be a lot if all 300 students were placed on the bike. Now, I had an opportunity to listen to one of the students who was released, or not released, who escaped. And he explained that they trekked long distances. And he talked about how it didn't matter that they were thorns and pebbles and stuff on the floor or on the ground. But, I mean, they made them work that distance, and that at times they had to hit them with the guns. So I'm thinking that you had people trekking, right? So maybe not everybody was on the bike. Maybe there were bikes, and then they were just going, alongside those who were trekking and walking. So that's going to be a long time. Too many questions here that need answers. Now, you must remember that this is the exact scenario with the Chibok girls. 300 thereabout girls taken from a school, and nobody could tell where they went to. It was as if they came, whoop, and the next minute they've gone. So for me, this is what we're looking at now. So I'm going to open the phone lines there, and I'll get your thoughts on this here. How did they move over 300 pupils on bike and also walk a long distance unhindered? And I'm looking at back and forth. How did they even get to the school? How did they leave the school unhindered? And you must remember that this is something that's happened before. You would think that because it has happened, that the Nigerian government will have taken precautions not to allow such a thing happen. And it has happened too many times. I mean, it's also happened in the school in Yobe. It was an also all-boys school when they went there too, and massacred boys. So the Dapchi girls too is there. So if you know that this is a modus operandi of Boko Haram, how is it that they still are able to operate in that manner unhindered? 0810-951-0951 or 0810-951-0951. Those are the numbers. Call in and stick to this particular line of questioning and we'll be fine. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. What's your name?
What?
What's your name?
Prince. I am Prince.
Prince, great to have
you from Abloma.
Prince from Abloma, go ahead.
What you are surprising is the same thing with me.
So we're all surprised here.
Did you see we are just 5 bikes? I'm not talking of much bikes, just 5. Or let's assume 20 bikes move the kind of convoy. The noise alone, the noise. Here, I don't really know what is the problem of Nigeria security. When we talk, the other side, the federal government say, why you go talk? Imagine, these people carry, I don't know whether if you told me they use a G-Lot, I'm sorry, is it Molue or, is it, I don't know the kind of motor I want to, 300 and something, and just ordinary bike. How many of them on the bike? How many hours it will take? Without no call. Nobody escape and make call. And whatever, they just carry 300 of them, 330, and just like that. And the rest now is an history. See, there is problem. There is something wrong with Nigeria.
There's a problem. All right, then. Thank you very much. He says there is a problem. If Buhari negotiates and releases these students, will that be a plus or a minus for Buhari? For me, that's a negative minus. And minus is already in the negative, but I guess you want to double the effect. Mr. Law says it's a negative minus. I don't know. Will this be I think it's always going to be a plus. A plus that we have the students back. For me, I don't care what politics went behind it, but if the students are back, it's a plus for me. That's how I see it. But what is a negative here for me is that it even happened. It happened in the manner it did. That's a huge negative. 08109510951. Well, the real question for the day on this topic is, how did they move over 300 pupils on bike and also walk a long distance unhindered? Recalling that the same scenario happened with the Chibok girls. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Grandpa.
Grandpa, where are you calling from?
That's on my day.
Good to have you. Please go ahead.
You know, I've been hearing of rustling, car rustling. And I also ask this question. As big as cows are, they will be rustled and no person will see people carrying them. So it's very astonishing that such a thing can happen in an area. No person came out. Now it has become the students, not more car rustlers. And if you wouldn't mind,
yes,
I've been hearing of Boko Haram in Northeast, not in Northwest. It has been car rustlers in Northwest and Boko Haram in Northeast. It doesn't mean that they have the same hands or the same people that call themselves car rustlers that are also Boko Haram. So that is my problem. I'm confused. And besides, all of them are from that area. So what are the people doing? The people want their children or everything they have to go into the hands of very few people. In fact, I call it that is sabotage. And I don't know what type of sabotage this is. That you can allow your children to be rustled, not cows again. So how can people stay? People trek for such a distance. And all of them, does it mean that some of the boys there are the informants or they are the young ones they are training? That is the question that I'm asking. I've asked somebody around me, does it mean that school that came in, that some of the boys there are the young ones, that you have youth groups in everything? Is it the young ones that they now can organize their fellow ones and go for one peculiar reason or the other? So I want to ask the government should open their eyes. This one they're talking, we are rescuing them. It's not how the security operation is done. It's not the way. They are shouting, and then you want to tell someone what you do. You already have told that person. The person will listen and know what else to do.
Grandpa, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. I'll take just one more here and I've got to move on. All right, well, that line was unable to go through. So let's move on to the second piece on this plate. Yum, yum, yum. The Nigerian Senate has rejuvenated the call on President Muhammadu Buhari to address the National Assembly or the nation on the increasingly annoying security situation in the country. The senators made the call during a debate on the motion by Senator Bello Mandia from Katsina State on the kidnap of over 300 schoolboys at Kankara. The senators lamented that Nigerians should not be seen as helpless when they have elected leaders. Say that again. Just as they summoned the Minister of Defense, the service chiefs, and the heads of Nigerian police force and the Department of State Service over the unending insecurity situation in the country.
I will submit that the service chiefs will do the honorable thing to tender their letter of resignation and to call on President Muhammadu Buhari to start looking at international support for family staff resign. Let us rather see how we can talk with our president as elected people. There are only few elected people in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Just as the president was elected, is the one also were elected. So we have to meet as elected people, represent the people, to discuss this matter. The National Assembly, by Section 4 of the Constitution, we have the power to change the law. Let us immediately look at our law now. As a matter of urgency, and make the necessary amendment that
Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Now he enters into this conversation. In his submission, he said the National Assembly will not tone down its call on the need for the president to restructure the security architecture of the country. Is this laughable or what? He says they will not tone down their call on the need for the president to restructure the security architecture of the country. Okay, so the tone, how loud is it already? How effective has been the tone? Who is even thinking of toning down? Somebody tell me this is not true. But he says they will not tone down the call on the need for the president to restructure the security architecture. So the National Assembly, all the senators feel this way, and they believe that they've been making this call for the president to restructure the security architecture, and that nothing is happening. You've been calling, and yet nothing is happening. Your tone has remained the same. Don't you think it's about time you put certain effective changes to the tone or the call in itself? Well, Ahmed Lawan says his submission here is that the tone shall not change, and they will continue to speak out on President Buhari to restructure the security architecture of the country. He says they should never get tired. Don't get tired. Keep talking. Keep talking. You don't have any other thing else to do but talk. Keep talking. Don't get tired. Well, there have been calls from different quarters for President Muhammadu Buhari to address Nigerians and the security situation in the country. The calls intensified after 43 rice farmers were killed in Borno State. It is more than 3 weeks since the killing of farmers in Borno State, and now a school has their children kidnapped in Katsina State. Given the current situation, Senate has summoned service chiefs and other security agencies. Do you think this incident will make the president address the nation? Maybe something will just, spur him on to leave Daura, where he has gone to nestle for a week, and decide, I need to do something urgently. I need to be in the eye of the storm. I mean, there's one eye of the storm that is very close to him, and that's Kankara. But maybe he needs to be in the eye of the storm, maybe the nation's capital, and meet with the lawmakers, or meet with, I don't know, but not be in Daura at the moment, when it seems as if we're being besieged by different issues of insecurity back and forth. But Daura is where he is at the moment. But do you think this incident will make him address the nation? I mean, he can even still address the nation from Daura. And is the address even necessary at this point? So this is what I need you to do. Tell me, is the address what we should be proposing? Is that what we should be seeking, or action? Because I believe the president has asked for action. So should we be bothered about any presidential address, or let's start scrutinizing the kind of action that is being taken? Giving calls for the service chiefs to be sacked, do you think they will appear before the Senate? And do you even think in any ways that this time around they will take in the calls by the Senate to tender in their resignation? It's not the first time that the Senate has done that. It's not the first time they've asked them to tender their resignation. So do you think this is going to happen now? Is there anything that has changed that you think perhaps will bring forth some of these changes? 08109510951 or 081700000951. Those are the numbers for you to dial to get through here. And this here says, good day, Annie. If what I just heard is true, then we're not looking at the big pics, because there's a big problem, and government at all level has failed its people. Shame on all of them. This is from Braid. Okay, Braid. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening. What's your name?
Anthony.
Hello. What's your name?
Anthony. My name is Anthony.
Anthony. Good to have you. Go ahead.
You said that somebody described our house of rest and house of it as house of lamentation. Seriously, but the only thing is to lament. Nothing happened. So, for lament, why the not going to do their normal thing? For me now, I'm seeing it as a business. It's a business. Big sabotage is going on in that region. Because for the 3 rice farmers were killed, 600,000 were paid to families as compensation. And I think 1 or 2 is different. They've kidnapped 10 or something, which I know is figure something like that. The question is, where are the military men when bikes, at least nothing less than 70 or 80 bikes would traverse through to that school? and go out, and nobody will even confront them. The security men.
Especially at the time when this was happening. I mean, this was like 9:30 to 10 in the night.
That is what I'm telling you. I'm saying that's a business now. Big business.
It's a big business, right?
Yeah, it's business now. You kidnap and